I really do think that every man 18 to 25, if they haven't tried it yet, get into sales. I think it's one of the best, if not the best decision you can make in terms of what it will do for you monetarily as well as what it will do for you in your personal life. To give you context, I got into sales right out of high school. So I'm 21 now. I got into sales when I was 18, and it's been the best decision I ever made. Make decent money from it, not as much as I want to, but I'm very ambitious. I have really big goals for myself. More money than I would ever make if I went to college. I'll tell you that for sure. And I'll just kind of break down with y'all why I got into it, how it helped me, all that fun stuff, and hopefully you guys can really take some stuff away from this. But I got into it because I knew that I didn't want to go the traditional route going to college. It was just really never for me. I always knew that I wanted to be entrepreneurial ever since I would say freshman year. I ran a clothing brand. I tried different side hustles, stuff like that, the typical stuff you hear. And I knew that in order to be successful in life, I knew I needed to communicate with people properly. And there's a statistic out there, you can search it up. 70% of millionaires or billionaires, they start out in sales. So I already knew that, and at the time I was pretty introverted. I still am an introverted guy, and I wasn't that great at talking to people if I'm just being completely transparent. So I knew that in order to become the person, the man I wanted to be and be successful, I needed to, one, obviously start a business, but also learn sales. So that's what I did. So I ran a few businesses, clothing brands, stuff like that. Never really took off. And then I started a marketing agency, which is an online service business, right after graduating high school. And that's how I got my sales experience. And with that business, I actually hit 35K a month in revenue, which is great. It came crashing down pretty quick. It wasn't like anything crazy where I was doing that consistently month over month. But I made some decent money for it, especially for an 18-year-old, right? And through that business, I learned how to sell because in order to sell my marketing services, which was a couple $1,000s a month to these business owners, I had to convince them to give me their money. And that was the first point in my life where I really started getting more confident in myself. One, because obviously I was making more money, but more importantly, I could finally communicate with people properly. Before then, like I was saying, I had a hard time speaking to people. I was really scared of rejection. And after learning how to sell, because if you guys know anything about sales, you deal with a lot more no's than you do yeses. I became desensitized to it. Everyone I spoke to me, I just thought, hey, it's just another person. They get up and poop and eat food the same way I do. So it really helped me in terms of my confidence with learning how to speak to people in sales or just day to day. And then obviously the money was great. So I'd say that's the main reason. If you're someone who's like 18, 25, you should definitely get into sales because there's not like any prior experience needed or anything like that. You can get into it with no experience because obviously there's more upside. Well, not upside, sorry. There's more risk to it because it's usually all commission based. If you're not working a sales job where it's all commission based, probably means that you can't get paid that much. So that's the main reason. You can't, there's no experience needed. So you can literally do it without any college experience, where most jobs, where if you want to make six figures, you need to go to college at least for a 4 year degree, stuff like that. And I didn't want to do that. And I'm sure most of you guys don't want to take out a massive loan and go in a bunch of debt to make just six figures with no more career potential. And that's another great thing about sales is you can theoretically make as much money as you want. There's people out there that make more money than lawyers or doctors, and they don't have a crazy college degree. They just got into sales and they just stuck to it for long enough. And that's the main thing I'd say. Just the money side. And then obviously when it comes to the communication, this will affect your personal life and dating life as well. When I was in a relationship, I was in sales, and before I got into sales, I was very needy. I'd say I didn't really lead the relationship. After getting into sales, it actually affected my relationship a lot more. My girlfriend at the time, she ended up respecting me and admire me way more than I was in sales. There's a night and day difference, and I think that really just comes down to learning how to obviously speak to people, but in sales you learn leadership because your job is to lead people through making a decision. Makes you much more skilled in critical decision making as well. And yeah, I mean that's I this is off the top of the dome here, so you gotta bear with me if I'm kind of all over the place. But I truly think that if you're 18 to 25, the best possible decision you can do is just get into sales at least once. Learn how to get rejected, learn how to speak to people. It will do you wonders later down the road, whatever you do in your life. Especially in this generation, because dude, everyone's doom scrolling nowadays. No one knows how to be social, nothing like that. And yeah, that's really it for the video. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, keep it nice and concise. I know it might be all over the place, but I just decided to film this shit off the top of the dome. If you guys have any questions on getting into sales, I sell life insurance. I think it's the best thing you can sell. Everyone needs it. It's a super easy sale, super cheap for these people. You get paid $500 to $1,000 per commission. You don't need any type of experience. Just hit me up on Instagram. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.